Hello everyone, and welcome to Sunup. I'm Lyndall Stout. Now that cooler temperatures are on the way, we want to spend a little time this morning talking about weeds that you may see in your fields this fall. Joining us now is Angela Post, our extension weed scientist. And Angela, let's just get rolling. Tell us what you have in your hand right here.
So this one is called Henbit, or Lamium amplexicol. So one of the common wintertime weeds that you're going to see in your fields. This one is probably a little bit bigger than what you're seeing in your fields right now. I've collected it out of a larger area, but you can see kind of crinkled crenate leaves with these kind of scalloped margins and little purple flowers. A lot of times we don't see these purple flowers until much later in the season, but we'll take a look at some smaller ones as well, more the size that you would be seeing in your field right now.
And some of these are a little bit hard to kind of tell apart, right?
Right, so the important thing we want to focus on this morning is identification. So to take a look at a smaller one of these in the field here, we have a teeny tiny one. This is about the size you're seeing them in the field right now. So very, very small, still within the realm of control here. So up to 2 to 4 inches would be the timeline you would want to control these. A herbicide application would control this size specimen very easily as long as you have a product that's labeled for Henbit control. We're also going to take a look at several weeds that are basal rosettes that are very difficult to tell apart. So first we have south thistles. These have just started to germinate. We have cooler soil temperatures. Let's take a look at the evening primrose rosettes. And these all will make a basal rosette, and it will spread out on the ground, you know, about this far before it starts to bolt later in the spring.
Now we have here the prickly lettuce.
Yeah, so this is another one that forms a rosette that you can see can be challenging to tell apart from some of the other ones we looked at this morning. So also a nice clear midrib on this and some cuts in the leaves. It will also make a nice round rosette about this large. But if we pull back the leaf on the prickly lettuce, there are some little spines that run along this midrib. So that is a clear identifying characteristic of prickly lettuce. And if you look there, I've broken that midrib, and also produces a white milky sap. And that is also a good identifying character to tell this apart from the evening primrose and also the south thistle that we were looking at just a minute ago.
And last but not least, we have some volunteer canola.
We do have a tiny one here. Canola is in the mustard family, and so its cotyledons are going to be sort of heart-shaped. So you see that's the first cotyledon out there, and it will have 2 of those. And then the next leaves will look more like what we tend to think about as being mustard leaves. And so here we have the canola plant that's, once it gets a lot larger, it's going to be much more difficult to control. This one has maybe 7 or 8 true leaves on it already. And so as we get further into the fall and these are interfering with our wheat crop, we may see that they're more challenging to control.
So we might not normally think about canola being a weed in the fields right now.
Yeah, so you may not even have planted canola last year, but remember, canola is a very tiny seed, and as we move it around the state, it's going to fall off of those trucks. And so we may see it in ditch banks, we may see it creep into the edges of our fields as well. And we want to be conscious of that even if we weren't canola growers, because it can become a weed in our wheat fields. And if you were growing canola last year, we do see those plants shatter some of their seed back into the field. And so we want to pay attention for those as they start to compete with our wheat crop if we did have shattering in the field last year.
Okay, great advice, Angela Post. Thanks a lot. And for more information on weed identification, we have a link to Angela's website at sunup.okstate.edu.